How you doing? My name is Dr. Sami Baya. Please welcome back to my channel. How do you manage a narcissist? How do you manage a relationship with a narcissist? We all know that it's not easy, but there are some strategies that can work, like setting clear boundaries, having a strong support system made up of people you can trust. All this can work. First of all, we know that a narcissist, they have this inflated sense of self-importance. They have this constant need for praise and admiration. Narcissists have a sense of entitlement. They take advantage of others. They use others. They misuse others. They exploit people without shame or guilt. Narcissists don't care about other people's needs. They don't recognize other people's needs. They only care about their needs. They're selfish, self-centered people. Narcissists are bullies. They bully others. They demean others. They monopolize conversations or meetings. It's all about them. How do you deal with people with narcissistic tendencies? First of all, don't confront a narcissist about their behavior. Most likely it will not work. They will make sure they have the upper hand. We know narcissists are very resistant to change. So don't try to fix a narcissist. So focus on your own behavior. Focus on your own well-being. That is the best revenge. Focus on success. Choose happiness. So set boundaries. Build stronger support system made up of friends, family, professionals to help you navigate the ups and downs of a relationship with a narcissist. Now, to manage a relationship with a narcissist, first thing first, educate yourself about narcissists, about narcissism, and about narcissistic personality disorder. We know knowledge is power, and information is power. So get this knowledge. Watch a lot of YouTube videos on narcissism. Read a lot of, articles about narcissists. Buy books on narcissists, on narcissistic relationships, narcissism, narcissists, and empower yourself. We know that narcissists are charming and likable. So you might be tempted to overlook their harmful behaviors. So get to know the signs of a narcissist so that you can be able to spot a narcissist. You can be able to recognize them. You can be able to understand the narcissist's strengths and weaknesses so that you can deal with the challenges that might arise in that relationship that you have with a narcissist. So maybe knowing about the narcissist can make you accept them for who they are. And it can make you set more realistic expectations about that relationship that you have with the narcissist. So read a lot of books about narcissists, all right? It may help you learn the best ways of communicating with your loved one who is a narcissist. The other thing that you can do to maintain a relationship with a narcissist is to build your self-esteem. When you build a healthy self-esteem, it makes it easier to manage or to cope up with a narcissist in that relationship of yours. So try to have positive self-talk. Practice self-care. Get a healthy support system. All this, it can help you to develop resilience. It can strengthen your self-esteem. So when you have higher self-esteem, it can make it easier for you to set clear boundaries. So be assertive. It can help you to advocate for yourself. And all this will help you to maintain a relationship with a narcissist. The other thing to do to maintain a relationship with a narcissist is to speak up for yourself. Walking away or ignoring something is the best thing to do. But it also depends on the relationship. So if this narcissist is your boss, is your father, mother, your spouse, then you might need to change strategies. It's different when dealing with a coworker, sibling, or child, for instance. So if you think that your boundaries have been crossed when communicating with a narcissist, don't react. Don't be annoyed. What you do, just speak in a calm, gentle manner. You can tell them how their words, how their behaviors has affected you, your life. So, to maintain a relationship with a narcissist, set clear boundaries. When with a narcissist, they'll cross your boundary. You can't change a narcissist, but you can set boundaries about their behaviors that you find unacceptable to you. Communicate those behaviors clearly to them. Force those boundaries. Don't make idle threats or ultimatums. For you to be taken seriously, make sure you follow through your threats. The other thing to do to maintain a relationship with a narcissist is to practice skills that can help you to be calm. Try deep breathing, try meditation, yoga. This might make it easier to remain calm. Don't overreact when interacting with a narcissist. So, be clear on your intentions. Practice what you plan to say. Then, the other thing is to get a support system. So if you can't avoid the narcissist, try to build a healthy relationship and support network of people. Spend too much time with this support system if possible, because spending too much time in a relationship with the narcissist or in a dysfunctional relationship can leave you emotionally drained. So try to rekindle old friendships. Try to also to nurture new ones. Get together with family more oftenly. If your social circle is smaller than you'd prefer, then try taking a class, to maybe study a new course, to do a new hobby. Be active in your community. Volunteer in local, community activities. Try to do things that will make you meet more people that you might feel comfortable with. So insist on immediate action, not promises, when dealing with a narcissist. Because narcissists love making promises. They can promise to do what you want. They should accomplish their promises immediately. You should also understand that the narcissist that you have a relationship with may also need professional help. They have this disorder. They also have other disorders, sometimes such as substance use disorder, or maybe mental health issues, or personality disorders. So maybe they'll need help. So even if we'll say narcissist or narcissistic personality disorder is a mental health condition, it doesn't excuse harmful or abusive behavior. Let me repeat that again. Even if we say that narcissistic personality disorder is a mental health condition, it is not an excuse for harmful or abusive behavior. So when in a relationship with a narcissist, it's good for you to recognize when you need help. Because dealing with a narcissist can drain you mentally and physically. You'll find yourself being anxious, suffering depression, unexplained physical ailments. So reach out to family and friends. Get your support system. Don't do it alone. But it's important to remember that narcissistic personality disorder is a legitimate mental health condition that requires diagnosis by a mental health professional. Still, people can exhibit some narcissistic characteristics without having narcissistic personality disorder. This might include having an inflated sense of self, needing constant praise, taking advantage of others, not recognizing or caring about the needs of others. So, to make things more complicated, people with narcissistic personality disorder or narcissistic tendencies are often very sensitive to criticism, despite their high self-esteem. Number one, see them for who they really are. But before you get drawn in, watch how they treat people when they're not on stage. If you catch them lying, manipulating, or blatantly disrespecting others, there is no reason to believe they won't do the same to you. Despite what someone with a narcissistic personality may say, your wants and needs are likely unimportant to them. And if you try to bring up this issue, you may be met with resistance. The first step in dealing with someone who has a narcissistic personality is simply accepting that this is who they are. There's not much you can do to change that. Break the spell and stop focusing on them. When there is a narcissistic personality in your orbit, attention seems to gravitate their way. That's by design. Whether it's negative or positive attention, those with narcissistic personalities work hard to keep themselves in the spotlight. You might soon find yourself buying into this tactic, pushing aside your own needs to keep them satisfied. So if you must deal with a narcissistic personality, don't allow them to infiltrate your sense of self or define your world. You matter too. So regularly remind yourself of your strengths, desires, and goals. Take charge and carve out some me time. Take care of yourself first. And remember that it's not your job to fix them. There are times when ignoring something or simply walking away is an appropriate response. Pick your battles right. But a lot depends on the relationship. For example, dealing with a boss, parent, or spouse may call for different strategies than dealing with a coworker, sibling, or child. Some people with narcissistic personalities enjoy making others squirm. If that's the case, try not to get visibly flustered or show annoyance, as that will only urge them to continue. If it's someone you'd like to keep close in your life, then you owe it to yourself to speak up. Try to do this in a calm, gentle manner. You must tell them how their words and conduct impact your life. Be specific and consistent about what's not acceptable and how you expect to be treated. A person with a narcissistic personality disorder is often quite self-absorbed. They might think they are entitled to go where they want, snoop through your personal things, or tell you how you should feel. Maybe they give you unsolicited advice and take credit for things you've done, or pressure you to talk about private things in a public setting. They may also have little sense of personal space, so they tend to cross a lot of boundaries. More often than not, they don't even see them. That's why you have to be abundantly clear about boundaries that are important to you. Why would the consequences matter to them? Because someone with a narcissistic personality disorder typically starts to pay attention when things start affecting them personally. Just make sure it's not an idle threat. Talk about consequences only if you are ready to carry them out as stated. Otherwise, they won't believe you the next time. Expect them to push back. Right? So if you stand up to someone with a narcissistic personality, you can expect them to respond. Once you speak up and set boundaries, they may come back with some demands of their own. They may also try to manipulate you into feeling guilty or believing that you are the one being unreasonable and controlling. They might make a play for sympathy. Be prepared to stand your ground. If you take a step backward, they won't take you seriously next time. Remember that you are not at fault. A person who is a narcissist isn't likely to admit a mistake or take responsibility for hurting you. Instead, they tend to project their own negative behaviors onto you or someone else. You might be tempted to keep the peace by accepting blame, but you don't have to belittle yourself to salvage their ego. You know the truth. Don't let anyone take that away from you. To find a support system. So if you can't avoid the person, try to build up your healthy relationships and support network of people. Spending too much time in a dysfunctional relationship with someone who has a narcissist personality disorder can leave you emotionally drained. So rekindle old friendships and try to nurture new ones. Get together with family more often. If your social circle is smaller than you'd prefer, try taking a class to explore a new hobby. Get active in your community or volunteer for a local charity. Do something that allows you to meet more people you feel comfortable with. Insist on immediate action, not promises. People with narcissism are good at making promises. They promise to do what you want and not to do that and not to do things you hate. They promise to generally do better, and they might even be sincere about these promises. But make no mistake about it, the promise is a means to an end for someone with a narcissistic personality disorder. Once they get what they want, the motivation is gone. You can't count on their actions matching their words. Ask for what you want and stand your ground. Insist that you will only fulfill their requests after they've fulfilled yours. Don't give in on this point. Consistency will help drive it home. Number 19 for dealing with a narcissist is to understand that a narcissistic person may need professional help. Narcissists often don't see a problem, at least not with themselves. As a result, it's unlikely they'll ever seek professional counseling. But people who are narcissists frequently have other disorders, such as substance abuse or other mental health or personality disorders. Having another disorder may be what prompts someone to seek help. So you can suggest that they reach out for professional help, but you can't make them do it. It's absolutely their responsibility, not yours. And remember, while narcissism is a mental health condition, it doesn't excuse bad or abusive behavior. It's to recognize when you need help. Regularly dealing with someone who has a narcissistic personality disorder can take a toll on your own mental and physical health. If you have symptoms of anxiety, depression, or unexplained physical ailments, see your primary care doctor first. Once you have a checkup, you can ask for referrals to other services such as therapists and support groups. Reach out to family and friends and call your support system into service. There is no need to go it alone. What are the traits of a narcissist? How do narcissists behave? So, whether it's your boss, your partner, or even a family member, we are all very likely to come into contact with what's known as a narcissist at one point or another. Now, we hear so much about the narcissist, and especially about how dangerous they can be for us. So, how can we be prepared to avoid falling into a destructive spiral with a narcissist? So, without further ado, let's look at these traits and attitudes and learn how to spot them. Being around a narcissistic personality disorder person has truly damaging effects on both our self-esteem and the perception we have of ourselves. Here we're dealing with a personality disorder characterized by a tendency to be self-centered, exaggerate one's talents, and lack empathy. These traits can certainly become problematic for sufferers and those around them. So in fact, sufferers often turn to bullying and gaslighting to get us to believe their own hype. So what are the traits that reveal that someone is a narcissist? Number one, the person is hugely self-centered. This facet of their personality runs deep, and they regularly behave in childish ways to make everything about themselves. When you discuss something together or tell a story, they will always make it about themselves. They have a strong tendency for megalomania and always feel they need to outdo others. Number two trait that reveals someone is a narcissist: they are incapable of showing empathy. Likewise, they demonstrate terrifying emotional coldness and act as if it's totally fine. If their victim expresses discomfort because of something the narcissist has done, they will do everything to prove that their victim is wrong and that they are indeed loving and caring. A lack of empathy is really one of the typical characteristics because these people aren't affected by sadness and they aren't bothered by making other people cry either. So in some cases, knowing that they've hurt someone can even give them a certain pleasure. Number three trait that someone is a narcissist is that they see themselves as being the most important person in the room. These narcissists, these people overestimate their accomplishments and expect to be recognized as superior without having accomplished anything that would warrant such recognition. They also constantly put forward certain successes or strengths without nuance, and they aren't shy in amplifying these so-called accomplishments. They are often absorbed by fantasies of unlimited success, power, splendor, beauty, or ideal love. However, this in fact translates into them being dissatisfied with their everyday life. Number four trait of a narcissist: they lie and they are always vague. They will never clearly express their opinions, feelings, or needs. Instead, they constantly seek to maintain ambiguity so that their victim continually tries to understand them. Lying is also common amongst them, and they spend their time inventing stories to make themselves look good. Indeed, they have a huge need for recognition, and they will do anything to flatter their inflated ego. Number five trait of a narcissist: they tend to criticize and devalue. They belittle their victims in order to better control them and enhance their own self-esteem. Furthermore, they'll attack people's appearance by making negative comments about weight and even dress sense. For example, when this is repeated on a daily basis, these phrases undermine the victim's self-confidence and make them doubt themselves. Humiliation, intimidation, verbal and psychological violence are also common tactics they use. Number 6 trait of a narcissist: they demand perfection from others. They believe that people must respond immediately to their questions and needs. With a narcissistic pervert, there is absolutely no room for error because they simply don't forgive. They'll remember everything and often bring things up from the past that could embarrass you or make you look bad. For one of them, you will never be good enough to meet their expectations. Narcissists, they are two-faced. A narcissistic personality is difficult to identify because they play a double game. On the one hand, they will be incredibly psychologically violent, but on the other hand, they will come across as charming and polite. From the outside, nothing appears off, which is why so many people's entourage are shocked when they find out who they are really dealing with. Number 8 trait of a narcissist: they know how to win people over. If you think you are safe from this kind of a person, beware, because once the manipulator has spotted their prey, they know very well how to lure them in. They come across as very charismatic and endearing, which means that only few people resist them. They will tell you what you want to hear and play the Prince Charming card. Yes, that's right. They'll seem like the dream partner until they reveal their true intentions. Number 9 trait of a narcissist: they feel inferior, but they will never show it. Someone suffering from narcissistic personality disorder will display arrogance and haughty attitudes towards people, and they won't hesitate to put them down. That's right. They need to discredit other people in order to feel better about themselves and what they have to offer people. Their behavior is also likely to be tinged with a sense of dominance. The number 10 trait of a narcissist: they get angry when they aren't in control. They regularly need to verify that they have complete control over their victim and that they are completely isolated. To accomplish this, they know how to confuse their victim and make them believe falsehoods. If this happens, it is best to analyze their actions rather than their words so that you can truly know who you are dealing with. So, how can you deal with a narcissistic personality? When faced with this type of personality, you must not provoke them by letting them know that you are onto them, because it will cause intense panic. With narcissists, you must be intelligent and cunning, right? You must put your weaknesses aside. You must avoid confiding in them and show that you have good self-esteem, because they will treat you the way you treat yourself. Their manipulative power is formidable. They are so devious that they have what it takes to fool everyone along their path, including even specialists, doctors, and psychologists. Nevertheless, when you are in a toxic relationship with a narcissist, time is on their side, since they use it to create a psychological and emotional dependence, which is why you must react quickly. Thank you for watching this video. If you loved it, click on that like button. Give this video a thumbs up. Share this video widely to all those who may need it. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, and when you subscribe, hit the notification bell, the ring bell. Scroll up and choose the all option. That is the only way you get notified each time I upload a new video. God bless you. Catch you later in the next video.